anyone has ever worried about my cats not liking it in the basement at night, there is your proof. They have their own little apartment. They love it so much. Okay. What are you guys doing? You went back to bed. You like it down here? You like our apartment? Recently, I had a new idea for getting myself down to the basement, to the storage area to work, because sometimes it just feels so weighty. I get down here and I see so many things that I want to do to further declutter and organize this space. So I came up with an idea, which was the 20-20-20 method of a power hour, where I spend 20 minutes doing one task and then go to the next task and the next. So I pick 3 tasks. Unfortunately, when I tried that video, I got completely distracted and I just kept emptying because, of course, emptying is always my biggest priority when it comes to the basement. But I thought, no, this idea could work for me, so I want to try it again. I'm going to spend 20 minutes photo decluttering, 20 minutes labeling things down here, and 20 minutes cleaning up one area. This is the area that I am choosing, and I'm going to use the word tidying up. So I need to see what all I got going on here and decide, is it leaving? Is it trash? What actually is happening? Because this is where I put like outdoor stuff right here. And as you can well imagine, this is a hot spot right now. You know, it's May, and we're about to have our full moon in May, which in my zone means you can plant without worrying about frost. Some people wait for Memorial Day, but the old timers have taught me just wait for that full moon. Anyway, it's important to me to have accessibility, and this is where I normally store things that are leaving. So I at least want to get this straightened a little, and then I actually have a new idea that I'm going to share with you and do in my next basement video. So I'll share that at the end because I really want to get started so I don't get distracted again. I think what I'm going to do is get labeling, because that allows me to move around and it's super satisfying. Then I'm going to do the photo declutter, 20 minutes. I'm not in love with photo decluttering, so I feel like it'll be easy for me to stop. And then I'm going to spend 20 minutes cleaning this area up. I'm saving that for last because if I start it, I know I will keep going and I won't do my 20-20-20. And that's what happened in my last 20-20-20 video. It didn't end up being a 20-20-20 video. I have a lot of labeling going on here. I'm super satisfied with that fact. I would like to do more labeling. There's not a ton that needs to be done, but more labeling over here to complete my labeling goals. And, you know, there might be some small things that need to come up off the floor. You know, thinking of planting, I wonder if my husband needs this bucket for the summer, if I could steal that for my container garden. I'm telling you, I have the worst trouble focusing because I have 5 million projects going on in this head all of the time. Oh, it's a tough place to live in here. Here's what I use for label. They're just chalkboard labels, and I get these on Amazon. They're really for the pantry, I think, but I love them because they're easy to remove. So if I'm kind of sick of whatever I've done, I can change it. Or if I declutter something I don't need anymore, then I can just take the label off and use that container for something else. So easy to remove. They are chalkboard labels. I hate the whole chalkboard pen thing. So what I do is I use a Sharpie, and I'm currently using silver because I couldn't find a white Sharpie at the time. I could have bought one on Amazon, but whatever store I was in, probably Dollar General, I don't know. I couldn't find a white Sharpie, so I got a silver one just because it would show up on the black. I've got my labels, I've got my pen, and so the next thing I need to do to rein myself in is to set a timer for 20 minutes so that when the 20 minutes is up, and I don't even know, I always think Do I even have enough stuff that needs to be labeled that I need 20 minutes? I don't know. But that's okay. It would just give me time on the other end to do something else. So setting the timer for 20 minutes and it's go time. As you all might know, we have been working on organizing my husband's workshop stuff. What is this? Airstrike air compressor. I don't even know. I'm going to put this on the floor. And so I'd like to get it labeled. You know, we've done very well. We got him this wall unit. He decluttered. Oh my goodness. Can't even believe. I'll try to link the playlist at the end in case you missed that. I'm going to use this little block of wood to write on. So all I want to do is just kind of take a look-see, and I could even label these shelves, although it's open, you can definitely see what's on it, but it would guide people to what to put here. You know, what to put here. You would know, you know, not to put a switch plate here if this is for paint. So we might get there, I don't know. So this is, what's in here? Drop cloths are over here. So the first one is going to be paint drop cloths. You know, and taking a minute to put something away is fine, but I don't want to get too wrapped up in reorganizing. Paint drop cloths. Even if I wrote its intention, I could always schedule another time, another 20-20-20, and organize. So what you might do as you're doing things like this is keep a pad of paper with you, your to-do list, so that you could write down next time. What I want to do is make sure, whoa, that I'm so frantic, that all I have here is drop cloths. And if there's a drop cloth over here, I can move it over. But I don't need to do that right now. For example, I'm noticing that I could actually, you know what? I can't resist. This has rollers in it, paint rollers. So first I'm going to label it. But I do notice I have more paint rollers in a smaller box that could go in this bigger box, and then I would have more room. So paint rollers. So don't let me forget, guys. What was I going to say? Now I forgot what I was going to say. Hot mess. Hot mess. This is first thing in the morning. I've had coffee and I got myself ready for the day, but I haven't done the dishes. I haven't made the bed because I didn't trust myself to get this done if I got started cleaning the house. So I have this, and it has paint rollers and brushes in it. Should I have said paint brushes? Let's put a second label. We'll put paint brushes in there too. You know what? Paint brushes and tape. So this is becoming a list. Paint brushes and tape. I could have put paint supplies, and then that would have encompassed it all, but I kind of want to be very direct with my people about what goes in here. So I am just going to take a minute. And I'm thinking now, actually, that in this bucket, someone's going to say I should probably have a lid on the bucket that has paint rollers, and that is true. And maybe it will come at another time. But I'm not going to worry about that today. As I declutter more, I will have availability of, and I might even have containers that have lids, but I'm not going to get involved in that right this minute. So that's good. That was satisfying. This is sandpaper trash. And then here's my paint tapes that my husband was using. Oh, and there's more paint stuff here on the floor. We got a ways to go, people. But you know what? We're going to label. I could so get distracted. This is what happens, is I think something's organized and all I need to do is label it, and then I see, you know, I see that there's something on the floor. Oh, I know. Was this stuff I was using? maybe. And my husband put it down here for me because we're having company. Yeah, I think that's what happened. All right. So now I see that I have this beautiful empty box. And I could put my paint trays maybe and sandpaper in here. Just like that. And put it back. Will it fit? Yes, just barely. So that will be my next label. Paint, trays, and sandpaper. I'm really not writing that neatly. I feel like I would need more caffeine to write nice. Oh, man. All right. This is technically a paint bucket, so I'm just going to put it here and get it off the floor. And I'm not using my 20-20-20 time to clean this up because I already chose the area I would clean up. If I have minutes at the end, I can revisit. I don't mind if I happen to see drop cloths here of just moving that over. You know, it takes less than 5 seconds, but I don't want to get wrapped up in reorganizing things. Okay, so what's next? Next, this says miscellaneous. This says power tools. This does not have a label, and I'm pretty positive this is plumbing and electrical. So that's going to be my next label. Also, since it is morning, I am beginning to sweat because I am an old lady, so I think I might take off this sweater. We got one more cool day in Maine, and then it's going to be in the 80s. I'm pretty sure today is Monday, and I'm pretty sure Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be in the 80s. I just noticed one more box. This was when we were doing the screws and the nails. So these are screws from our declutter. I'm pretty positive it wouldn't be stuff my husband would want to get rid of. Oh, picture hangers. So I'm just going to label it screws, nails, picture hangers. Or extra screws, nails, picture hangers. I need to find out, do I need to buy more organizers for that? Is there stuff in there we could get rid of? I feel like maybe when we were decluttering, we didn't finish. I don't know. Extra screws. Like, we will never have enough building projects to use all of those, right? Picture hangers. And honestly, I even want to talk to him about the picture hangers because I tend to use command strips now rather than putting a hole in the wall. Although sometimes, even though they're not supposed to take the paint off, it does, and it's much easier to patch a hole than a strip of paint or a sheetrock that comes off, right? Okay, so now, look at that. I think, and then one more. This is my power tool area, or my husband's, but this actually is a box that has power tools in it, so I will label this box, and these are actual, can you see that? These are actual power tools, so I'm not too worried about that. Ah! Oh! See, my husband was using this yesterday, and he just came down and he slid it right here, but it goes with outdoor tools. But I feel like it's my fault because I've let this big pile in front of outdoor happen. So why would you want to come down and fight through the boxes that Karen's decided to get rid of, you know, trash and Goodwill, when you could just stick it right here? So I'm hoping that as we improve things here in the Twombly house, that it will help us to also put things away properly. And I'm realizing the plan I had to do next isn't going to work for a while. But we'll get to that at the end. See, I'm getting distracted because I saw something. Okay, one more label for this area, and then the tool area is all labeled, and we'll see how many minutes we have left. Power tools. And then I just noticed across the way a couple of my husband's boxes I could also label for him. And this will just help, you know, I think it just helps. You put an organized, because I've always said, if your husband, significant other, you know, someone in your family, if they don't want to declutter. The next step is organizing what they have and saying, could I organize this for you? Would you like to organize it with me? Then you organize it, label it, and there's going to be more of that you're going to see, so that if you ever decide, you know at least where stuff goes. And we tend to macro organize. It's just our own organization. It's our organization style is to macro organize so that you can just toss. Also, you should know, I had to tape my camera together today. The viewer that pops up, a screw let loose. And so if I were to look at the view to see how the shot is, it's upside down unless I tape it to the side. The life of a YouTuber. Okay, so here's what I noticed, is this here does not have a livable. And okay, this is like extra phones, iPads, power chargers, hard drives. So it's kind of like miscellaneous, but I'm still going to put what's in there. I'm going to say extra old phones. These are things I wanted to get rid of. iPads, Kindles, power cords. I kind of feel like a lot of this he had agreed to get rid of, and then we got stymied on what to do with it, or having the time to do what, you know, you can come up with ideas like old phones, you know, a woman's shelter. A lot of times they'll take those types of things. So everything now here is labeled. Let's see how much time we have. You know, that was just a short little job, so I have 2 minutes left, which gives me enough time to just kind of show you what I have done. So now you can see, even though these shelves are not perfect, we have labeled everything. When someone is putting something away, you know, now they'll know exactly where it should go. And so these were really the 2 shelves that are predominantly things my husband wanted us to keep. And now at least they are organized and labeled. Okay, if you noticed. Oh wait, I can plug in my phone. Hang on, I got something to tell you. If my camera shot looks different to you, wow, actually, I kind of like it. Let me move it in a little. I gotta tell you what just happened. But first, let me be a good YouTuber and just say, now we've moved on to the second phase of, and I meant to clean my lens first, and I did not, but I think we're okay. Brought down lens cleaner, didn't use it. Started my timer just now, and we'll clean the lens after. Anyways, I've been needing it. So I'm doing a photo declutter. This is my oldest, Tyler. This had a lot of his stuff in it. Oh yeah, it's mostly him, because, you know, firstborn and all, you take tons of pictures, and it was back when we used to actually print them out. So I have a trash bag here for any that I'm not going to keep. I'm just throwing them in his box. His name is on it. And then I'm going to go through his box after I've done this and pick out ones I'd like to keep for myself. The rest will go to him. If he chooses to keep them, he can keep them. If he chooses to put them on, you know, scan them, he'll scan them. I'm not going to scan. I don't feel that I have the bandwidth for that at this point in my life. Anyway, back to what I was about to tell you is I have known, okay, so first of all, I told you that I had to tape my camera together this morning because a screw had come out of the back of the camera that holds the viewfinder up. So I did that. And then just now, as I was ending my first 20 minutes, the tripod, and I've also known for a long time I needed a new tripod, but I didn't think the top of it was a problem. It was more the legs were getting wonky. YouTube is expensive, people. Are there people getting rich on YouTube? Yes, but somebody with my channel size, no, I don't even make minimum wage for my hours, but I love it so much, and it allows me to stay home. And I was praying for a way to make money to help my family without having to leave home. And so this has been amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me and watching. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so I was taking some shots, thinking thumbnail, that sort of thing. And my camera fell off the tripod. And the nightmare is if you have shut the camera off so that the lens has retracted and it falls, 9 times out of 10, it takes the fall. Unfortunately for me, it was open because I was using it, and I went to push record or something, and it fell off the tripod onto the cement floor, and it is officially broken. So now I am filming on my phone, and I'm just going to have to decide what to do from there. Oh, I forgot. Okay, what I was doing is, if I'm going to not keep the photo, actually, I keep it in the album because these are all yellowed and I'm getting rid of them. All right. So this was Tyler's first birthday I'm going through right now. Am I upset about the camera? Yes, of course I am. But I'm thankful I have a phone, and I'm not going to get upset about it right now. So this is Robin and I and Tyler. That was his. Can you see that? How do you do this? This is a whole new learning curve. So this is Tyler's first birthday. So he's 30 now, just to give you some reference on how. And I made those curtains, and I made that cover for the futon. My mother had bought a sewing, a sewing machine, for me when I graduated from college, and sewing lessons. And I don't even know where to look. And sewing lessons, and I used the sewing lessons to learn to make curtains, which was a really dumb idea because it's really just learning how to sew a rectangle. I should have picked something a little harder to get her money's worth. But anyways, I made those curtains and I loved them. I made them when we were living in a church parsonage, and they had painted the walls green. It's so funny because a parsonage. A lot of churches don't even have parsonages anymore, but it was a house that the church owned, and the pastor would live in it, and he wouldn't have to pay rent, obviously, right? So it was a way to solve housing. And one of the benefits of a parsonage is what you pay your pastor isn't relying on the real estate market. There could be one year that you need a pastor and you hire him, and the market's low, so he doesn't need as much to get in the area. And then you could need a pastor another time when the market is super high, and now he needs to earn a lot more money. So that's one of the beauties of having a parsonage. The downside for the pastor is that then he has no equity. So, it has its pluses and minuses. But anyways, they did a walkthrough with me on the parsonage, and they were like, what do you like? What do you don't like? And I said, what I will say that I like is white walls. I see you have white walls. I love white walls. So they were going to paint a fresh coat. And mind you, I'm 25 years old at this point. 26, newly married. I've been married less than a year, just a smidge less than a year. So I go to the parsonage, and they're painting, and I said to the guy painting, I go, that looks kind of green, like seafoam green. Is it the lighting? Because it was at night. He goes, no, it's green. And I went, and I hated it. I hated it so much. And I went home and I cried to my husband. They're painting it green. I still to this day don't know why that happened, how that happened, why they asked me what I liked and then did green. So the curtains I just showed you, it really brought a lot of light in. and helped me to feel like I redeemed the green, because the curtain picked up the green but kind of gave you something else to look at. The other thing we did is they had this really dark brown carpeting on the floor, and without asking permission, we rolled up the carpeting, and it was like at different places adhered to the wood floor, and we had to scrape it up. They never put another carpet down there, you know, that I know of. So I guess they weren't upset. But it was the old-fashioned pine plank flooring, and you could see through to the basement through the floor with cracks. So it really was intended, I suppose, to have something covering it. Okay, so the other fun story that I just reminded myself of with the flooring is I wanted to make my first quilt, and I wish I had a picture of that quilt. Over the years, it ended up falling apart. Not all of my seams were really deep enough. So anyway, my mother was helping me to make a quilt, and my grandmother had, you know, the Sunbonnet Sue, if you're familiar with quilting, or you could just Google Sunbonnet Sue. The Sunbonnet Sue quilt was like a little lady, and my grandmother must have sketched her own Sunbonnet Sue. So she had a template on like file folder or cardboard. It was like cardboard template of Sunbonnet Sue. And so my mother taught me how to do a blanket stitch, because the Sunbonnet Sue was big. Because that's why I say it must be my grandmother must have sketched it, because they're really small, or maybe that was the way they were years and years ago. They were bigger. I have never done research on it. So anyways, I appliqued on big squares. My mom was like, you want to do big squares, it's your first quilt. So we must have done, it must have been like a 12-inch square, and then we bordered it with the same pink, so a solid pink that matched the curtains. And I didn't have quilting supplies, so the way we cut out the squares was we lined it up with the planks on the wood floor, and we used the planks as like a ruler to cut by. So as you can imagine, it was never perfectly straight, but what a memory, and what really a shout out to my grandmother's era of just using what you have, a pair of scissors from Walmart, and using the lines on the floor to cut the strips, cut the squares, and we made an entire full size, like twin bed size quilt with nothing for measurement. Well, not nothing for measurement. We could measure it because we had the, you know, the rolling, flexible sewing measuring, but we had no rotary cutter. We had no rotary, no mat. We just used the wood floor. So here she and I are sitting on the floor, cutting and cutting, and I used the sewing machine she purchased for me to sew it all together. And that was just a very cool moment in that house. So I feel like in the end, it ended up being pretty. It was a huge house. The apartment we came from was so tiny that the living room and the house that was the parsonage was the same size as our entire apartment. So we were going in the upstairs, many bedrooms. Like, I don't know that I really appreciated how big. I've never lived in a house that big since. It even had like an open area when you went up the stairs that we use as like a sitting room with TV and stuff. And now that's the church offices, and then they have like conference rooms, but we had like a full dedicated office. I mean, there was so much to this house. But you know, you don't really know what you have until later in life sometimes. I think there were so many stressors of sharing property with the church that it kind of overshadowed that a little bit. Okay, so you know, these are just straight pictures of him. Ooh, look. So that just totally fell apart. So what I'm going to, so you let me know, are you still decluttering photos? I know some of you are done. Let me know in the comments section What are your major hindrances to decluttering your storage areas? Where are you at in that process? What is it you love about watching these types of storage area basement decluttering videos? What do you like about them? What kind of storage videos do you like to watch and why? Well, just give me some ideas moving forward. Okay, so this was one of the only pictures that was kind of adhered to the plastic, but I have several of him sitting in the snow, so I'm not going to miss that one photo. Yeah, if you could let me know that in the comment section, I'd really appreciate it, because it helps me to aim how I do these videos at the way you like to see them. I know a lot of people enjoy them because I see that in the numbers. My numbers always get a little lift when I have a basement video. I definitely have hope of getting this done so that it just needs upkeep, but at the same time, it is very challenging to keep making myself come down here. So the fact that you like these videos, honestly, really does help me to discipline myself to get down here and do it. Oh, I'm almost done with this album. Okay. Okay, I'm taking out the ones where my husband looks drunk. It's so funny when you take a picture and someone's like, what's great is just, family members who have passed on and you see a picture of them snuggling your kids. That's just, those are the ones I know they're going to want to keep and treasure. It's these Polaroids. I went through a Polaroid phase, and they do tend to get stuck, and they also fade over time. It's just not the best quality paper picture. So this album now has nothing in it I want, and its pages were very yellowed. My pen just fell out of it. See how the pages are very yellowed, and then I left photos in there. Those are super washed out that I don't need to keep. And so now this whole thing is going to get thrown away. And I'm going to put you on. Oh, that was 15 minutes. So that tells me I have 5 minutes left. So what I might do with my last 5 minutes and go out is just go through these and pull out ones that are just for Tyler. So funny because I did like little edges. I had the little scissors. I wanted to do the scrapbooking thing, but I know I didn't have the money for it. So, it's a do what you can kind of thing. And then ones where I have multiples of like Tyler and somebody, I can just pull one out. All right, while I finish up, I will play a little song for you just to give you a little break from my voice. And then we'll pick up at the end and go on to cleaning out that one spot I wanted to clean. Oh my, the color looks so strange on this now. Isn't that weird? Okay, we'll have to adjust to using our phone and figure out how to do this, especially with lighting. Now, all we have left to do, I've got the cats over here in their apartment, is clean out that whole area. I did have an idea, and so I'm wondering if I would have time for that idea. So my idea is right now I'm using this shelf as this is my current project, but I could even just move those. My idea is to have a shelf here and then dedicate that shelf to things that are leaving the house because it's right near the stairs. Before, my idea was, it leaves the house this way, but I'm realizing unless I were to move these, I could put a shelf there and move everything and put a shelf there and put things that are leaving the house. But I'm just finding that this is a problem. So I'm realizing I answered my own question, and the key is putting a shelf here. The reason why I have these high chairs is for when family comes. First of all, I have the island, which is overflow seating. And then we have the cafe style table, but we want to get rid of the cafe style table and get a low table. Of course, the cost of that camera, I could almost get a table. But maybe I'll just start filming exclusively on my phone. I'll have to see how this, you let me know what you think of this video. Either way, so put a shelf here from Lowe's, the ones like all the other shelves I have. My idea was I wanted to empty a shelf and bring it here. That's a possibility. I would rather do that because that's more decluttery. And then anything that's leaving the house would go on this shelf. That way it's not blocking anything we want to get to over here. For today, I need to get this stuff out of the way, at least so that we can access the outdoor things easily. So I have this half bag of guinea pig bedding. That's trash. Let me get my trash bag. I don't know what to do with this bedding, and I wouldn't donate it when it's open. So this is going to trash. Then I also have some guinea pig food. I can't donate that. It's been open. It's not even sealed properly. That is trash. Then I have this random box here. Apple orchards. Oh, this was stuff for guinea pigs to chew on. This is a nail file, but it's bent, and I don't even know whose it is, so it's going. Yeah, so I'm just kind of throwing away. This is an old blanket. So this is stuff that the guinea pig used that I'm not donating. In fact, this reminds me of treats that are open. And then this is a feeding trough. This could be donated. This could be donated. This was the water bottle last time. I'm like, where's the water bottle? So I'm going to bring these right upstairs to go in the car, even though my husband has the car. Then this was all, okay, this is all trash. That's why it's in here. So this stuff is trash. This is not trash. All right. So this is trash, but it has like a broken PlayStation in it. And I cannot donate it that way. So, this is a charger for my old Canon camera. I gotta keep that. All right, so this is I'm gonna put it right now in front of my oil heater. I'm just causing another issue. I hope not. I hope not. But I'm really gonna make it a goal to get rid of this stuff this week. These are old notebooks. I don't know if they're worth donating. They're pretty dirty. I'm going to throw them out. They're just dirty and damaged. This is hay, so this can be used outside as I grow. This guinea pig hay. And I need to get more trash bags. Today is actually my trash day. So some of this stuff I need to take it to the dump myself because it goes in certain areas, and I mean, he'd do it, but I'd have to pay him extra. I don't want to, whatever. Honestly don't want to explain to him. I don't have the energy. So I am going to prepare, a not too heavy couple of bags to put out at the road. Yvonne and I are going to do some errands as soon as I'm done filming. We're going to the grocery store to get a few things that were not on my grocery list that she wanted. And what else? We need to take her paycheck to the bank. And we were going to go to this, it's like a feed supply store, but they have some plants out front. Yeah, these were trash notebooks. And then, I don't know what else. Oh, I'll go ahead and get her a Dunkin'. That's her love language, Dunkin'. Okay, this goes with empty boxes. It's a laundry basket. I wonder if the holes are big enough for planting through the holes. I don't think so. I actually think I'm going to donate this. Oh, this goes with the guinea pig thing. This is like trashed. It was like a hammock for guinea pigs. So this has a computer monitor my husband's getting rid of. That will stay there because that's one of the things we need to get rid of. But I feel like I at least opened up this space so that I can get to things I need to get to. So maybe this old PlayStation, I'll just put on top of this box. Since there's things we need to put in a certain area at the dump. Now this was my old photo boxes, and this is obviously dilapidated. Oh, I love dust. So I'm going to bag these up too, and then I can put these up the road to finish up my 20 minutes. And then we'll be done. Let me go get my water. I actually have 10 minutes left, so I feel like that gives me enough time to bag this up, put it at the road, and I'm going to send my husband a text just reminding him that I have Goodwill stuff in the back of the car because he has a car today, and he works, his office is right near Goodwill, and so hopefully he's going to be stopping at Goodwill. I'll have to put a note on these because these can be recycled because it's all cardboard, but he's going to hopefully go to Goodwill for me and get out what's in the trunk because I end up, being sick and everything. I just haven't been able to do it. So that's what'll be good. And there's a couple of bags we use when we're shopping. This is a good one. I think I'll donate this actually. I never use this. This is an expensive brand, the ones where you go to parties. I don't know. Will I use it? It's clean and everything. I have to think about that, but I could get rid of it because I haven't used it. All right. Wow, this is great. This actually is way better than what I thought. I'm not going to follow me to the trash. So, but isn't this area so much better? That was quick and easy. Because this here, because I do automotive and gardening here, this is some sort of straps my husband does use. So I'm going to put them down here, I think. It's just for now. It's not ideal. No, I'm not. I'm just going to put them here. This needs to be swept, but I'd rather use my minutes to get stuff to the curb. So I don't know what time my trash guy is coming, and this is an empty box. That's an area I also need to declutter because I could get rid of some of these boxes, especially the ones that don't have lids. So let's review. Everything in the main area of the basement is now labeled. I need to go in the area where all my kids' stuff is, make sure that's labeled another day. Could do another 20. The trash is dealt with except for this that we should take to the dump ourselves so that it's put in the correct area. And I have 2 bags that are going up. And I finished with like an album. I finished one album. I'm halfway through another album. So the photo decluttering is happening. It is a slow process, but I like pairing it with other things. To come down here and do an hour and a half of, or even an hour, a power hour of photo decluttering is just a lot. It's just, ugh. But this now I can access the things I need to access. It still does need some work, but I'm going to get the stuff up to the curb because the trash guys should be coming within the hour, and that will get taken away. That feels good. My husband has some Goodwill things. So Let me know, do you think you might do this power hour idea of 2020? And if so, think about one area of your home, and or if maybe not, maybe you would do like 20 minutes in the kitchen, 20 in the living room, 20 in the dining room. Maybe I'll do that with a cleaning video. Anyway, what would you do with your 2020? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time.